Look at Buenos Aires. European architecture, wide boulevards, elegant cafes, opera houses. This looks like Paris, or Madrid, or Rome. And that's not an accident, because in the year 1900, Argentina was richer than France, richer than Germany, richer than Italy. Argentina was the 5th richest country in the world, per capita income higher than most of Europe. People from Italy, Spain, Germany immigrated to Argentina for better life. Argentina was the land of opportunity, the future, the promise. Fast forward to 2024. Inflation over 200% per year. Half the population living in poverty. Currency worthless. People use dollars, not pesos. People lining up at banks. Protests. Economic crisis. Argentina is now one of the poorest countries in Latin America. From 5th richest to poverty. From European prosperity to Latin American crisis in just 124 years. What happened? How does a country go from richer than France to this? This is the story of Argentina's century of decline, a warning, a lesson, and a pattern that keeps repeating. Let's understand how Argentina destroyed itself. Let's start at the beginning. 1880-1930, Argentina's golden age. Why was Argentina so rich? Reason 1, geography. The pampas, endless fertile plains, some of the best farmland on earth, perfect for cattle, perfect for wheat. Argentina became the world's breadbasket. Beef exports to Europe, wheat exports globally, the granary of the world. Reason 2, immigration. Late 1800s, Argentina opened doors to European immigration. Italians, Spaniards, Germans, French. Millions came. Not poor refugees, skilled workers, educated people, entrepreneurs. They brought capital, knowledge, work ethic. Between 1870 and 1930, 6 million Europeans immigrated to Argentina. Population exploded, cities grew, economy boomed. Reason 3, global trade. Argentina perfectly positioned for global trade. Europe needed food. Argentina had food. Refrigerated ships invented 1870s. Game changer. Now Argentina could ship beef to London, Paris, Berlin. Money poured in. The results? 1913, Argentina had higher per capita income than France, Germany, and Italy. Buenos Aires rivaled Paris in elegance. The elite lived like European aristocracy, polo, horse racing, opera, high culture. But here's the thing. This wealth, it was fragile, built on agricultural exports. Nothing else. No industry, no manufacturing, no diversification. Just beef and wheat. And when that stopped working, everything collapsed. 1929, the Great Depression hit. Global trade collapsed. Europe couldn't afford Argentine beef anymore. Wheat prices crashed. Argentina's entire economy based on exports. Exports stopped, economy stopped. 1930, military coup. Democracy ended. General José Félix Uriburu took power. This was the first of many military coups in Argentina's history. A pattern was beginning. Economic crisis, political instability, military coup. This pattern would repeat again and again and again. But Argentina recovered from the Depression, right? Sort of. 1930s, 1940s. The economy limped along. World War II helped. Europe needed food again. But something dangerous was brewing. A political movement that would destroy Argentina's future. Peronism. 1946, Juan Domingo Perón elected president. A charismatic military officer, populist, loved by the masses. Who was Perón? He promised everything to everyone. Higher wages for workers, free healthcare, free education, government jobs for all. The people loved him, especially the working class, descamisados, shirtless ones. His wife, Eva Perón, Evita, even more beloved. She was glamorous, compassionate, a champion of the poor. Together, Juan and Eva Perón were unstoppable. But here's what Perón actually did. Policy 1, Nationalization. Perón nationalized everything. Railways, government takeover. Telephone companies, government takeover. Public utilities, government control. Sounds good, right? The people own it now. Problem? The government ran everything terribly. Railways became inefficient, lost money. Phone companies stopped innovating, terrible service. Industries that were profitable, now losing money. Policy 2, import substitution. Perón said, why import from other countries? We'll make everything ourselves. Banned imports, forced Argentina to produce domestically. Problem? Argentine industry couldn't compete internationally. Protected from competition, they became lazy, inefficient, expensive. Policy 3, massive government spending. Free healthcare, free university, government jobs everywhere. Where did the money come from? The agricultural wealth Argentina had accumulated. Perón spent the savings, burned through reserves. Short-term, people loved it. Free stuff everywhere. Long-term, disaster. 1952, Eva Perón died of cancer, aged 33. The nation mourned, millions at her funeral. But without Evita, Juan Perón's popularity declined. 1955, military coup, Perón overthrown, exiled. You'd think Argentina would learn. Nope. 1955 to 1973, chaos, military governments, brief democracies, more coups. Argentina couldn't decide military rule or democracy, Peronism or anti-Peronism. The economy, suffering. The pattern established. Step 1, economic crisis. Step 2, populist promises. Step 3, government spending increases. Step 4, economy gets worse. Step 5, military coup. Step 6, military fails. Step 7, return to democracy. Step 8, repeat from step 1. This cycle repeated for decades. 1973, Perón returned from exile, now 77 years old. Elected president again. The people still loved him, but he was old, sick. 1974, Perón died. His third wife, Isabel Perón, became president. First female president in Western Hemisphere. But she was incompetent, completely out of her depth. Economy collapsed under Isabel. Inflation skyrocketed, political violence everywhere, left-wing guerrillas fighting right-wing death squads. Argentina descending into chaos. 1976, military coup. Isabel overthrown. The military took over again, but this time, much darker. 1976. 1983. Military dictatorship, led by General Jorge Videla. They called it the process of national reorganization. Argentines call it the Dirty War. What happened? The military hunted subversives, communists, socialists, guerrillas, activists, but also students, teachers, journalists, anyone who criticized government. 30,000 people disappeared, kidnapped by the military, tortured, murdered, bodies dumped in the ocean from planes. The desaparecidos, disappeared ones. Families never knew what happened. The mothers of Plaza de Mayo, women who lost children, protested every week, wearing white headscarves, demanding answers. Where are our children? The government never answered, and the economy, the military also failed to fix it. Inflation continued, debt increased. By 1982, Argentina was bankrupt and a murderous dictatorship. Then the military made a desperate gamble. April 1982, Argentina invaded the Falkland Islands, small British-controlled islands off Argentina's coast. Argentines call them Las Malvinas. Why invade? The military government was desperate, economy collapsing, people hating them. They needed a distraction, a nationalistic cause, reclaim Las Malvinas from British colonialism. Short term, it worked. Argentines rallied, patriotic fever, but Britain wasn't going to let it slide. Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher sent the Royal Navy. June 1982, Britain recaptured the islands. Argentina lost, humiliated. 649 Argentine soldiers dead. The military's last gamble failed. 1983, military government collapsed. Democracy returned. But the economy? Destroyed. Debt massive. Inflation out of control. The 1980s would be Argentina's worst decade yet. 1980s, hyperinflation. What is hyperinflation? When prices double every few days, money becomes worthless. 1989, Argentina's inflation hit 3,000% per year. Let that sink in. 3,000%. A loaf of bread, 100 pesos in the morning, 150 pesos by evening. Salaries worthless by the time you got paid. Savings evaporated overnight. People literally ran from bank to store to spend money before it lost value. Businesses changed prices multiple times per day. Restaurants had blank price menus. They'd write prices fresh each hour. Why did this happen? The government was broke, so they printed money. Endless amounts. More pesos, more pesos, more pesos. Classic hyperinflation trap. Need money? Print money. Money loses value. Need more money? Print more. Money loses more value. Death spiral. 1989, riots, looting, chaos. Supermarkets looted, people desperate. The government couldn't control anything. President Raúl Alfonsín resigned early. Carlos Menem took over, and he tried something radical. 1991, Carlos Menem's radical reform, the convertibility plan, pegged the peso to the US dollar. 1 peso equals $1, fixed, guaranteed. Suddenly, inflation stopped. Argentines could trust their currency again. Foreign investment poured in. Economy grew 8% per year through 1990s. Menem privatized everything Perón had nationalized. State companies sold to private sector. Airlines, utilities, railways, all privatized. The economy boomed. Argentines felt rich again. They traveled to Miami, bought imported goods, lived well. But there was a fatal flaw in this plan. The peso-dollar peg only works if you have dollars. Argentina's economy grew, but exports didn't. Argentine products too expensive. The peso was overvalued. Brazil devalued their currency, became more competitive. Argentina stuck at 1 peso equals $1, too expensive to export. Imports flooded in, exports collapsed. Argentina ran out of dollars, but the government kept promising 1 peso equals $1. They were lying. They didn't have enough dollars to back it up. 1999 to 2001, economic crisis brewing, unemployment rising, poverty increasing. The dollar peg was doomed. December 2001, Argentina collapsed. Again, people rushed to banks to withdraw dollars. The government froze bank accounts, corralito, the little fence. You couldn't access your own money. Argentines were furious. Their savings trapped. Riots erupted. Que se vayan todos, throw them all out. Banging pots and pans, cacerolazos, protests. December 20, 2001, President Fernando de la Rúa resigned, fled the presidential palace in a helicopter as rioters approached. Fled in a helicopter as rioters approached. Argentina had 5 presidents in 2 weeks. Total chaos. January 2002, the peso-dollar peg broke. 1 peso equals $1, over. The peso collapsed. 1 peso equaled 25 cents, then 20 cents, then 10 cents. Everyone's savings destroyed. If you had $10,000 in the bank in pesos, now worth $2,500 or less. Poverty skyrocketed to 50%. Half of Argentina poor. Overnight. Middle class wiped out. People digging through trash for food. Barter systems trading goods because money worthless. Argentina, once the 5th richest country, now a failed state. But they recovered again. 2003, Nestor Kirchner became president, left-wing Peronist, populist. He defaulted on Argentina's debt, refused to pay foreign creditors. Surprisingly, it worked short-term. Without debt payments, government had money to spend. Economy recovered, grew 8% per year 2003 to 2007. 2007, Nestor's wife, Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner, became president, CFK, Cristina. She continued his policies, but Peronism again, massive government spending, nationalized private companies again. 2008, nationalized private pension funds, took people's retirement savings. 2012, nationalized YPF oil company, seized from a Spanish company. And printing money again. To fund spending, printed pesos. Inflation returned. Official inflation, 10%. Real inflation, 25 to 30%. The government lied about statistics, manipulated inflation numbers, manipulated GDP numbers. Capital controls, couldn't buy dollars legally, black market for dollars, dollar blue. Corruption exploded. Kirchner family became billionaires while in office. Bags of money, literal bags of cash found in government offices. 2015, Cristina left office. Mauricio Macri, center-right, elected. He tried to fix the economy, but the damage was done. Argentina's debt, massive. Inflation, entrenched. 2018, Argentina went to the IMF. Borrowed $57 billion, the largest IMF loan ever, but it didn't work. 2019, Peronists returned to power. Alberto Fernandez president, Cristina Kirchner vice president, and back to same policies, printing money, price controls, government spending. 2020 to 2023, economic disaster. COVID made it worse. Inflation 50%. Then 100%, then 150%. Poverty, 40%. The peso, worthless again. Argentines using dollars, not pesos. Every purchase, how much in dollars? The peso, a joke. 2023, Argentines were desperate. Inflation, 200%. Poverty, 45%. Peso, collapsing. They tried everything. So they elected an anarcho-capitalist. Javier Milei, a libertarian economist, former TV personality, wild hair, eccentric, carries a chainsaw as a prop. His campaign promise? I'm going to take a chainsaw to the state. Literally. What does that mean? Shut down half the government ministries, fire thousands of government workers, end subsidies, end price controls, end capital controls, dollarize the economy, replace peso with US dollar completely. Cut government spending by 30%. This is radical, the most extreme free market experiment in modern history. December 2023, Milei took office, and he did it. Shut down ministries, fired workers, cut spending massively. The result? Short-term pain. Poverty increased, unemployment rose, people suffering. But inflation started falling, 200% to 150% to 100% to 50%. Still high, but falling. The peso stabilized for first time in years. Is it working? Too early to tell. It's only been 1 year. The pain is real. People are hurting, but Milei's approval rating? Still high. Argentines are desperate enough to accept the pain if it means finally fixing economy. The question, can Argentina finally break the cycle? Or will this fail too, and they'll return to Peronism again? History suggests they'll repeat the cycle, but maybe, just maybe, this time is different.
Let's go back to the beginning. 1900, Argentina was the 5th richest country in the world. 2024, Argentina is poor. How? The pattern. Cycle step 1, economic crisis. Argentina hits crisis. Debt, inflation, poverty. Cycle step 2, populist promises. A charismatic leader appears, promises free stuff, higher wages, government help. Vote for me, I'll fix everything. The people, desperate, vote for them. Cycle step 3, populist policies. Nationalize industries, ban imports, print money. Government spending explodes. Cycle step 4, short-term success. For 2 to 5 years, it works. People get free stuff, wages rise, everyone happy. Cycle step 5, long-term disaster. The money runs out, inflation returns, economy collapses, worse than before. Cycle step 6, crisis again, back to step 1. This cycle has repeated for 80 years. Perón, military, hyperinflation, Menem, 2001 collapse, Kirchner's, Milei. Next.
Why does Argentina keep doing this? Reason 1, no economic diversification. Argentina still depends on agricultural exports, beef, wheat, soybeans. Never built strong manufacturing, never built tech sector. One-trick economy. When agriculture struggles, everything struggles. Reason 2, populist culture. Argentines love populism. Peronism is almost a religion. Perón gave us everything, never mind that he destroyed the economy. Reason 3, short-term thinking. Politicians elected every 4 years, so they think 4 years ahead. Print money now, win election, leave problem for the next guy. No long-term planning. Reason 4, lack of trust. Argentines don't trust their government, so they hide money, avoid taxes, use cash, creates black market economy, makes reform impossible. Reason 5, institutional weakness. Courts can be manipulated. Constitution can be changed. Rules don't matter. Whoever's in power changes the rules. The lesson? Argentina proves natural resources aren't enough. You can have the best farmland on earth, but if you have bad governance, populism, corruption, short-term thinking, weak institutions, you'll fail. Compared to Chile, Argentina's neighbor, no pampas, no great farmland, but good governance, free markets, strong institutions. Result, Chile is richer than Argentina now. Geography doesn't determine destiny, governance does. Argentina's story is a warning to every country. Populism is a trap. It feels good short-term, free stuff, higher wages, government will take care of us. But long-term, disaster. You can't spend your way to prosperity. You can't print money without consequences. You can't nationalize industries without killing innovation. Argentina tried all of this for 80 years, and it failed every single time. The question, can Argentina finally learn? Can Milei break the cycle? Or will Argentines, 4 years from now, vote for another populist, promising free stuff again, repeating the cycle again? History says they'll repeat, but we'll see. Argentina has one more chance. Will they take it? Or will they remain the country that was rich, the country that could have been great? Time will tell. From fifth richest to poverty, Argentina's century of decline. A warning to the world.